The big man, who wears red, yellow, and blue, has been in some serious debates over the years since Henry Cavill helmed the cape for the first time in Man of Steel. And just for the record, I think Henry Cavill is a fucking great Superman. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. But the original is what we're going to be talking about today. It was completely different to the one we have seen these past few years alongside Batman and Wonder Woman. The original, full of camp, pure dorkiness, and entertainment cheese. Christopher Reeve, the one that pretty much everyone sees as the Superman.
Hi there. Something wrong with the elevator?
Does it hold up? Or is the camp too strong and too cringe? Is it unintentionally hilarious along the lines of Batman Forever and Batman and Robin?
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.
Why are there fucking nipples? Or is it heartwarming 70s charm at its pinnacle? Don't let me fucking tell you. Go watch the film for yourself and tell me what you think. Fuck me and my opinion. I'm just here to share for fun. I'm not trying to tell you what to think. Christopher Reeve perfectly embodies this version of Superman. The charming alien just looking to purely do the right thing. He just radiates good vibes, that's the best way I can think of describe it. And exactly the same with Clark, the dorky, charming man. Christopher Reeve is the perfect man for these set of cheesy movies. Now, I am of the opinion that you can change things from source materials if it will improve the movie. And if you want to make a drastic change, like Batman murdering people, that's fine if you have a reason for it. Like, if it's a core part of what makes the character a good character, you need to have, and you want to make a drastic change like that, yeah, you need to have a reason for it. Which is why, this is slightly an issue for me. But then, depending on what the reasons are for the drastic change, then that's up to the audience, and just everyone's going to be different on that. Oh, also, when I said cheesy, do not get me wrong, I meant that in a good way. I had a fucking great time watching Superman the movie, and I can't stress enough how much Christopher Reeve's performance was such a factor in the fact that I was smiling every second of the way. It is such a fun film. This is just pure charm, and I love it.
I guess I must have fainted.
Fainted?
The film is incredibly campy, but as I was saying, the camp and cheese work entirely in its favour. You could not do a film with this story and character in the same version as this without it being campy, even today. I mean, it's iconic for a reason. Another part in the iconography is obviously the score. What a score, it perfectly matches the superhero story they're trying to tell. Just full of hope, it matches with this world and this character. This is a superhero flick that is just trying to present the classic hero, just doing everything to save the day. And I mean, as I just said, there's no way you could do that even today without it being cheesy or campy, or at least falling somewhat into that. This film tries to tell a hopeful story of Superman, very different to Henry Cavill's version, and that's not to discredit Henry Cavill's version. As I said, I really like him, and I really like Man of Steel, and I am one of the few big fans of Batman v Superman. This Superman is a relatively simple story. Relatively simple premise as well for the film, but it's taking the idea of Superman from the comics, a hopeful god, just pure good force, and translating it to the big screen, and it's just translating it straight from page to screen, which is not something you see very often. And I'm sure there are changes, and don't get me wrong, I haven't read every Superman comic. I'm not really into comics too much myself, but this is, from what I am aware of, this is one of the most on point translations you will ever get. It's trying to recreate the character in the comics, and I think it does that really well. There isn't much action, but we see Clark literally grow from the point Krypton is gone. We literally see his little Todger to the point where he becomes Superman, the Superman that we know. It is a straightforward translation from page to screen, and like I say, that worked in its favour because the film embraced what was on the page. And it's fine if they don't want to do that, like I said, big fan of Batman v Superman. big fan of the later Thor films. Thor Ragnarok. It's nothing what he's like in the comics, from my understanding at least. And I think all of these factors makes it still enjoyable today. Amongst all the superhero films we get today, you can still probably enjoy this. I did. Lex is an incredibly simple villain, but it works. He doesn't need to be anything complex or anything like that. He is just simple. He's just there to be the villain, and the performance for him makes him a memorable one.
Is that how a warped brain like yours gets its kicks? By planning the death of innocent people?
No, by causing the death of innocent people.
Of course, it isn't a perfect movie. I mean, rarely films are. The charm cannot save everything. I get Clark's feelings for Lois, but the relationship between the two of them is not developed enough for me to really care. Which comes into play where he turns back time to save Lois. Even there's my first issue with it. I'm not as invested. I don't care as much as they want me to. And that leads me straight on to the next one. The way he does that, he turns back time, that is hilarious. He makes the Earth spin the opposite way, and it turns back time. It reverses events that we just saw unfold. Turning back time, I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, we saw it in The Flash, and it worked. The Flash TV show. We saw it in Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it worked there. So I don't have a problem with the concept. Doing it purely for this girl, you really don't know much about. At least if you do, we don't know that. Just literally just a girl he was crushing on. They weren't even fucking dating. What the fuck? And then the way he actually does it, making the Earth spin backwards, is so hilarious. Even for this film, that's just like a whoa. I mean, maybe that is scientifically correct. I don't know, but from my understanding currently, at this point in time, at this recording, I do not believe it. That is how it would work. And obviously, this isn't trying to be realistic, but I think you get what I mean. That was just a bit like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? It's just a weird decision in the way that if they did a simple like speed thing, then yeah, and I get it, but it was just that was just too nonsensical for me. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, that mixed with his motivation for it, like he's not doing it to save countless others. It's just Lois died, you know, so you gotta do it for the woman, and just hope it wasn't a Saturday, because Saturdays are for the boys. Also, some other flaws. I mean, the Superman costume literally comes out of nowhere. I mean, it is a sudden jump, to be honest, from teenage Clark to a little bit of a voiceover to where Clark has learned all these lessons, and now he's got a suit and he's a superhero. So you know, cool, I guess. Don't know what he learned, don't know anything. He is just this, basically a new man. If you think the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy is cheesy,
stings, doesn't it?
And charming, even this compared to them is a genuine new wave. And that's not disrespect to either franchise. As I said, I love this movie. And please, like, I think it's a genuine good movie. I'm not talking about I love it in the way I love Batman Forever. Like, I love Batman Forever because it's trash. And it's funny in loads of ways that it's really not meant to be. But then, this film and the Raimi trilogy and everything, I genuinely think they're great films. So please, do not get that mixed up. They can still be campy and be genuinely good, in my opinion. And some people will undoubtedly see it as cringe, and that's fine. But for me, it makes it more enjoyable. And like I said, it is simply a good movie. One of the best parts about it, which isn't campy or in any way at all, is the way Clark's dad dies. The fact that it's something Clark can't do anything about. He has a heart attack. That's it. Despite Clark being a literal god, he cannot save his dad no matter what he did. If he turned back time, nothing. He couldn't. Superman the movie is an old movie. 1978, I believe. Long time, and I'm watching it in 2021. And I'm enjoying it. So, my answer to the question in the title, yes. It is still enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. The main thing for a lot of people, I think, will be the time period that is left its stamp on it when it was made, because that will be cringy for a lot of people, especially my age. But for me, it just enhances the experience. And again, I was gone on about camp quite a bit here, but it's a genuine good movie. And this isn't a review, so to speak. And while I'm kind of dropping the review titles for my videos, but this is more of how I think this film stands for itself in this year, in modern day, because it is still one of the gold standards for superhero films, and it should be, because it is phenomenal. It was game-changing, and it is just a really good film. There's the odd effect in here that are genuinely better than some effects I see in films today. Of course, a lot are not, but effects don't make a movie. This film has so many great parts, and the flaws I mentioned, while I spoke about them for a little bit in depth, those are really it. Everything else is good. There is good character work, in particular Clark, but even Lois, like, I like her. The main part with Lois I don't like is the relationship between her and Clark isn't built up enough. I'm going to watch Superman 2 soon, so maybe that is advanced on in that film. I don't know, I don't remember anything about Superman 2. But yeah, like I said, for a lot of people this film will be cringe, but it's a good movie. Better than so many superhero films I see today. And I can still enjoy it. I still think it's amazing, personally. But that's just my opinion. And as I said, fuck me.